It is 6:30. Let's call this Board of Supervisors Budget Workshop, October 19th to order. Do we have any citizen participation at this time? John, you nodded. Was that?
No, I just sitting back in my chair.
Kevin?
Just here to observe and.
Yeah, oh, thank you, Kevin, appreciate that. Perfect, thank you. Any participation? Comments? Okay. Hearing none, we can get started on the budget workshop. Daisy?
Okay, hold on.
Yep,
Just a
yep.
second here. I think we're okay. All right, I'm good. Okay. What you have before you on our, this is still a draft worksheet, but at least it has more info from information that's been gathered. And it is a balanced general fund and a solid waste. We'll get to the liquid fuels later. But the two more prominent funds are solid waste and general. So, no. If you also notice with that, I mean, it incorporates the our funds, or we would, I don't ever remember having the budget of, right now it's around $954,000, so it's getting closer to $1 million. Where our budget last year for general was $670,000, if you remember. If you take off the ARP monies, it's around $685,000. So it's pretty much the same type of budget as what we're used to, because that's the increase of cost and everything. So it's a higher budget, but that's because of the ARP monies that are allocated within that budget for various things. If you look, there is a distribution schedule that I gave you. It's exactly what you had last time, only this time I put the account number beside it so you can see where it's incorporated into the worksheet. Which is simple one is the tractor mowers. There's only one thing in that, that's capital purchase, so capital equipment purchase. So that has the account number there that is referenced in your worksheet. And so you can see where these numbers from the ARP funds were plugged into the budget. So I thought that you would like to know, you know, I just didn't haphazardly put them in there. I put them in there with the purpose that, you know, is listed here. Okay, and the other thing is you have a copy of the current fee schedule resolution. The only thing I saw was to put up the junkyard license by $5, I think, yes, to make it $250, which is really very minimal. I mean, we don't have gigantic junkyards like some places that charge outrageous. But they're very fortunate to have the license here if you want a junkyard license, because it's difficult to get.
I'm sorry, you said you took it up to 250?
Yeah. In the budget,
245?
it's 245 now.
Oh, this is current.
This is
Okay,
current.
okay,
And I wanted you to look over, is there anything else you see, or you're thinking, oh, well, that seems a little low? I looked over it and I really can't say, you know, that I see a need right now to, as far as the zoning permit fees, they're pretty stable. We haven't had as much building this year, I have to say, but there again, interest rates are up. And
The solicitor's license, so do we pay per the firm, the fee for that, or is that per, you know, because we have several professionals that come in and represent
that's
solicitor's office.
per the company.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, just say, I don't know, say that there's some window and door person or something, you know, coming around. They would have to pay, then somebody else comes to sell, I don't know, sweepers.
It's that kind of solicitor. not the
Okay,
solicitor that,
yeah, shoot, I think
It's the-
solicitor, the attorney.
It's the fu- it's the-
Oh,
it's
the
the-
that's why,
attorney?
yeah, that's
Oh, gee,
why.
we could try
that's why I'm
charging
looking-
them a license fee.
Maybe I was so thrown by that because
What do you
It's the
think?
Fuller Brush Band.
how many times does the
No wonder you looked at me funny when I said if they were selling.
Yeah.
Well, that's because don't we have a sign that says you have to have a license somewhere?
Well,
It's
so-
really a
yeah.
peddler's,
Yeah,
it's really a
peddler's
peddler's
license.
license,
Yeah.
but I'll tell you, I always just budget $25 because we don't do a lot of them because they come till someone calls, they get out.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's just it, I was just, so, once a year, twice, if that?
Once or
Somebody
twice a
actually
year,
applies?
someone will call,
Okay.
and when they call, I have had people apply, and then the last one, I didn't have one this year, I had someone complain, I don't remember if you called me or somebody called me, and said, and I said, tell them when they come around, they need a license, come to the township, we're not, do you have a license from the township, Oh, well, and then whoever
Oh, yeah,
was said,
yeah.
we're leaving now anyway, so I'm not gonna bother getting one. So that's the kind of inquiries I get from people that are saying, do they have a license, and isn't it required, and I say, yes, they should have one.
Yeah.
Except
To
for
get off
like
track,
Girl
we-
Scouts
yeah,
and,
we-
that kind of.
We need to get on that a little better again.
It's
So-
hard
so-
though to get your zoning
right.
officer, to
Oh,
let-
yeah, no, I'm not.
I don't know how to get on it better.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean from the office here, just, I found a number of people just driving up the driveway and, like, are they, and then you ask them, and I get the same thing you get, the story about, yep, I'll get a permit, who do I call, and I give them the number here, and
Oh, yeah.
they'll come over, so
I
let
don't
me
think
turn
I've
this
had
down.
any recent calls from a company. From residents, I do, but not from. I mean, we've never had that many, but we always had a couple, and they would come in, do what they needed to do. We'd say which cars, how many people, all that stuff, and register, and then we do the check with the state police. I don't know. That's more procedure though, however. We
Yeah.
have an ordinance for it, so. And we just raised the zoning hearing fees, so we haven't had any this year, thank the Lord above, but, so that seemed fine to me. I didn't see anything else, I mean, that's why I'm asking you if you saw anything that you thought maybe needed tweaked in some way.
I have a question about one,
Okay.
the utility permit.
Yeah, you asked about that before.
Only $70.
Well, it's 70 plus, where is it? Plus $25 inspection, so it's $95.
And that doesn't matter, they're still destroying our property to do what they're gonna do. I mean, if it's boring, that's not so bad.
Right.
Most of the time it's boring, but,
Yeah.
yeah, but if they would actually have to
I think
dig.
you have to follow the PennDOT
Mm,
permit. You can't charge more than the PennDOT permit. That's what I was always told.
mm.
But I don't know what the PennDOT permit is right now. Because it did go up one year, remember? But it's been a while, so.
Hopefully we don't have to
Do you
worry
want me
about
to
it.
check on
Hopefully we
that
don't have to
or
worry
no?
about it. Don't worry, I don't worry
Well,
about it.
this will not really be adopted
You're right.
until the
We can check
organization
into that,
meeting.
we can check into that
But
before we.
I just want you to know the budget was,
On this.
revenues were based on this, basically with not minimal, very minimal changes.
I don't see anything else
You don't
that's
see-
adjusted,
okay.
anybody else?
That's-
Okay, also there's a page in here that I pulled out, so it kind of focuses, it's easier to see it, focuses on the amount of the taxes, so you can see that. And like I said, I did increase them slightly because we did get some interim assessments. One of the things that the interim assessments was because the Salem Church is no longer tax exempt. It's not like we're getting thousands of dollars, but that's like another property that we will receive, the real estate tax for. So basically it went up slightly, but not very much, because I also reduced the real estate transfer tax, because homes, the market is, I can see it.
Well,
It-
high
it-
interest rates,
yeah.
it's got everything.
It's going down. I mean,
It's
we got
stag-
over 38,000,
Yeah.
40,000, I forget what it was. Well, wait a minute, I can tell you right here.
Yeah, it's going the other way now.
Yeah, we got 40,000 in '22. We're not gonna get that this year. That was a windfall. I had people at the convention saying, wow, you know what we got in real estate transfer. but now it's going back down, so, we're going back down also in what we're estimating.
40 to 27.5.
Yes, 27.5. So, last year we budgeted 37, so I took it down almost $10,000. I mean, if some homes sell, you're gonna have people passing and sell homes. We have one for sale right down the road here, so. But anyway, that's just a recap of the revenue portion of the general fund. Do you have any comments on the general fund? Any questions? I was
Did you have
telling
comments or questions?
Kathy about the, I just got I was able to anticipate how much for the, road paving, because I just got that bill today, and I was very pleased. It ended up, we thought that it was going to be closer to 140,000. I mean, I was hoping it was coming under that, but it came in at not quite $122,000. So that was really, really great for us. So our fund balance for the end of this year is going to be more than what I ever anticipated last year at this time. So even that little bit helps us out, and that, if you want to look now at that, no, I must have lost mine. It's probably good. But your liquid fuels, you have that paper.
This one here?
Yeah, just look at that, and you can see where I estimate. Oh, thank you. You have one?
I probably have.
You probably have
Maybe
one.
I have.
Okay, well,
That's where we had two of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got one.
you got one. All right, somehow you got, I must have laid mine down. Anyway, the only revenue we have in the liquid fuels is the interest, a little bit of interest from getting the allocation from the state. And then we have our taxes from the state, from the fuel taxes. So that was down this year. The estimate was down from last year, which I guess they're thinking there's going to be more electric vehicles. I don't know. But, so I always estimate more conservatively, and really I'm not sure. Usually they estimate conservatively, and then you get a little more and you're happy. That's the way it's always been. It always seems to be that way. So I feel safe at 124,000. Road projects are estimated at 167,000. And then the balance as of 1/1/24, I just estimated that also. That might be a little under, depending on interest. And then you have your 2024 revenue at 124,000. And then the general fund share of 40,000, which that goes back to the 01-439-010 account in the general fund, which is supplemented from the art monies, which is why we can put more into the paving this year. So I just want you to see how they connect, and that it is flowing over where you want it to. You see what I'm saying, or did I lose you just talking? I know what I'm saying, but sometimes what I'm saying isn't registering. The general fund share of $40,000 there on the expenses has to do with 01-439-01. I'm pretty sure that's the one, because that's your major. That's the account number that's on the completion report that you use for your major projects, maintenance projects. So that's your overlay. And if you see proposed for 2024 in the general fund is $43,500.
I'm sorry, 01-430.
439, 01-439-010 on page 4. Do you see it? 01-439, road construction overlay.
23.5.
Okay, I just put a little extra in there, or you just never know. But back to your art schedule distribution again, you're looking at an additional $27,000 of the art monies is part of that 23.5. So that's where that's pulling in the money so that we're able.
43.5.
Pardon?
You said 23.5, that's part of the 43.5.
So that's the 43.5, yes, the 27,000 is part of the 43.5. Okay, I just wanted you to see that, where that's coming from. And then the expenses, I estimated 171,380, because you don't wanna, can't drain your checking and you can't drain your money market, or you'd be getting all kinds of minimal charges, so. The balance, for next year, 4,308, and that depends on cost. We can always cut and say budgetary restraints, we always put that in the bid anyway. But as you can see, I think we probably, if we hadn't had the supplemental, we would have got maybe Stiles Drive done and Hickory Road. Maybe that portion of Reed, but we wouldn't have gotten all that's listed there on the liquid fuels for your proposed projects.
Do you have any idea what each one of those is, what the price is for each one of those individually?
Yeah, I have that, I don't have it, but I brought my folder out in the selected. Yeah, we did get estimates from PennDOT on those. And it came up to, if we did them all, it was like, I'm gonna say it was over $170,000. So, I think Brad said that he's gonna have to limit Landscat.
Mm-hmm. Well,
If you wanna see them, I have them.
yeah, I'd like to. So, it
I
doesn't-
mean,
you don't-
it's
you
an
don't-
estimate,
you don't- It's purely, it's an estimate.
It's pure,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
even more of an estimate than some estimates, if you know what I'm saying. It's long range estimate, because
Right.
nobody
Well-
knows what costs are gonna be next year.
Well, it's not
Yeah.
So he took estimates from, he went and got measurements,
Mhm.
and then he took, cost, and it goes by how big the road
Oh,
is
yeah,
too.
right.
Because base repair on one road that's large is gonna
Right.
be less per square yard
Right.
than a small
A
little.
small one, yeah.
Yeah, a small little one, so.
And no one knows what the price of asphalt's gonna be, so.
Why would we get?
We'll just keep going on.
We know it ain't going down, but that's,
Mhm.
Daisy, I'm sorry,
Right.
on page
Sure.
2.
On page 2, yes,
Uh,
what did I find already?
First line under expenses, elected official salary.
Mm-hmm.
We have anticipated for this year 2,500, and we're increased by 700 for next year. Is there something missing?
Well, you want to remember that there could be special meetings, so you're gonna want to, add a few special meetings to that. There again, that's in my calculations, it's the same as last year, that budget line item. But the actual amount anticipated could be less because of any special meetings that we have or don't have. That would be the one variable. That's probably the only variable, the number of meetings, because basically that's what that is. Also, we budget for, if you remember in that item, for 2 people to go to the county convention. Now, that's only $100, but only one went this year, so that's a little bit less. So if you want to take that down, I wouldn't take it down by much. But that's probably the difference there.
It's a minor difference, I was just curious. I
Right.
didn't understand where it was coming from.
I mean, you don't want to allow for special meetings if something will come up. You have to have a special meeting. You want to make sure you cover some of that.
Okay.
Any questions on the liquid fuels? And this, like I said, I was working to get this done this afternoon. As soon as I got the email from New Enterprise. I thought I was really pleased when I saw this. Hmm?
142.
Yeah, less. It was like 121, 7 something.
Oh, okay.
It was really, I was really pleased.
Okay.
what it came out, the amounts, you know, it really came out well. So that gives, like I said, it gave us a little bit more of a fund balance
No,
than,
right.
what we were thinking, you know, probably about, what am I thinking? I don't know.
Nancy,
Whatever.
for emergency management, we
Mhm.
didn't spend anything last year. We don't
Uh-huh.
have anything year to date.
Uh-huh.
Why are we budgeting 4,000? Something coming up that will,
If you look at your distribution schedule
Mhm.
for ARPA, the money for the air pure system is put into there. I didn't know where else to put it. So it's more like, and if you'd like it somewhere else, I certainly can put it somewhere else, but that's
Okay,
for,
that's good.
okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
good.
saw
That
the
makes
list.
sense.
does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
that's
an
fine.
emergency.
That's what it's
Yep.
for, right?
Yep,
That's,
yep, thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay, do you want to move on, or are you still looking at general?
There, I don't want anybody at the planning commission to throw stones at me, but is there, do we have anything in here for, revamping the comp plan?
That could be put in. We do have a CD, I believe it comes due next year. I have to check on that for sure. But we could certainly do that.
It's
It
probably,
is time to do that.
something needs done.
But the last discussion I was in was, we're gonna redo this big thing with zoning and subdivision, which we did. Well, then this other little tweak came up. So
Right.
then the comp plan got stuck on the back burner.
Maybe we need to, that needs,
And
I hate to
maybe-
say it, it needs elevated again,
Maybe,
but,
yeah, I agree.
I mean,
Well, you said we don't have anything right now.
It is not, no. That certainly, we have money for that. Last time, Ritu helped us with it. I can't remember what it was last time. I think it was, it's been a while. So that might have been, I don't know, $8,000-10,000. But now you figure it's probably double that. I don't know if Max, if their firm does that, or if we would have to
Have
go
to get
someone else.
someone
I
else.
do not, I don't know that. I've never talked to Max about it. Did you want me to check on that, CD?
yes, if you would, please.
Okay.
Just a
Good.
That's something we wanna stay on top of.
Yeah, there's definitely funds there for that.
Yeah, and especially if we have.
And we can
plan-
just pull
we
that
have,
in.
if we have planned for it, that's even better.
We do, we have planned for it. We planned, quite a long time. I think there's, I'm gonna say around 18,000, give or take. So we have planned for it.
It'd be pretty close, yeah.
Mhm. And last time when Ritu walked us through it, I attended quite a few of the sessions, and they were really great. They really worked with they did, you know what Cammie did the one time? Okay,
yeah.
they did all
All
of that for us.
Yeah,
And then they would get back to me, and then I would forward stuff, and
Right.
I mean, they just took care of all. It was Frank. He
yeah.
was with Ritu then.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he's still with Ritu.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I haven't talked to Frank for a while. But,
Okay, Kathy just brought something up. Can we roll forward to the fire company issue?
Sure.
So these gentlemen, I assume that's what you wanted to be here for.
Take it in,
Just
stop
hold you
benches
up.
and
Trying to do our community part.
Okay, well, we didn't want to hold you if you were,
No, you're
if that's exactly what you
if
were.
they were looking for
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Well, maybe you should tell them what you have decided, at least tentatively here.
which page is we?
It's 01411 for the account. Oh, 1411, and I did add tax levy to that,
Okay.
so that you which is the tax levy, we had talked about that. And that number is taken by adding up all of the other taxes.
Okay, if you wish to articulate that, you can articulate it better than I can with all the
Okay.
detail and backstory to it.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, we already do give, 0.165 of our 0.90 millage is designated to the fire companies. And part of it goes to ambulance, part of it goes to library. That money is highly restricted. The board just can't by a motion, if you get somebody in here who says, man, we're gonna do away with that. They can't do that. Others they can move different things like that. But this is highly restricted. It really, I'm really audited for it, and I try to keep it straight for everybody. So you will get that. That is going to continue. They have not changed that millage. We talked a little bit about changing the millage overall for the township, even though nobody wants to do that. It's inevitable someday. But the board felt with the art money supplementing this year that we would be okay, and we will be okay. But that's something that really should be considered in the near future, to try, so that it's not a big dump on people if they need some type of increase there. But anyway, for this year, they have decided, we have been giving you, it's $20,000 in contributions above and beyond the tax levy, which a tax levy amounted to approximately $30,000. So a little more, a little less. It still is only amounting to.
And that's per fire company,
That's-
that's not split, right?
No, that's
Oh,
split.
that's-
Oh, that's,
That's
okay,
split.
so half of that.
So that
Yeah,
would be
half of it.
15,000
Okay.
for each fire
Right.
company, because we have two here, of course, you know that. So that will still continue. That's going up just a little bit, at least that's what we've estimated. And you never know exactly, because not everybody pays their taxes. Some pay 2% discount, some put more money into clean and green. You get some veterans who don't pay anything. So you just never know exactly, but it usually falls around $30,000. So you're looking at around 15,000 there from the tax levy. And then the contributions, remember, were you, I know John wasn't here, but I don't remember if you were here, Kevin, or not, whenever Mike and Brian Webster
Yes, those
came,
are-
were you here? Okay. Well, they came out and everyone was in dire straits with not being able to have fundraisers and such. So the township said they would give $10,000 to each fire company for that year to help them. I've never seen Mike Minnick, who has a lot more years in the service, I've never seen him so upset about the condition financially of their fire company as it was that year. But anyway, things are much better now. I'm hoping they're getting better for you guys too. But the board gave that $20,000 that year. It was never discussed that it was going to continue, but we just kept putting it in the budget. So you have gotten an additional $10,000 since 2021. They are still going to give you that additional $10,000 this year. So that's going to continue. What they're also going to do from the art monies is put an additional $10,000 in. So you're looking at getting $15,000 from the tax levy and $20,000. So, from that. Plus, if you count I know it's a little more restricted, but you also get approximately $15,000 from the fireman's relief. So I really think, we're doing what we can. You're going to get double contributions. So I thought that was very giving of the board.
Am I allowed to speak or comment?
Sure.
Yeah,
Please.
And that's what I mean, obviously, everything you guys can do, we appreciate it, everyone's in dire straits, and just some of the conversations with Daisy and with Brad, and, my experiences at work, we all know, where we're at. And, with some lack of communications and lack of representation on our end at these meetings, we want to try to make that up a little bit. And it sounds like, in conversations with both of you and just a little bit here, I think we all need to we all know what needs to happen, because even conversations, with Brad, even, concerning the roadside mower, everything's getting more expensive. We're feeling it, the ambulance is feeling it, the highway crew's feeling it. And that's kind of what our thing was, is to work with you guys as the board and to come up with a solution over, obviously nothing's gonna change. Nothing's gonna happen, we're not gonna pay our engine off tomorrow, you're not gonna buy your roadside mower tomorrow. And it's to work towards a long-term plan, which I think you guys are on the same page of helping everyone out
Right.
with the rate of inflation and everything else. And know 100%, the fire company appreciates everything you guys do. Part of the conversations we had is just to let you know where we were at. It wasn't a crying wolf like thing. It was when I gave you 2 years of financial stuff for everyone.
Yeah, I provided that too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's we wanted to be as transparent as we can. We want to continue a open form of communications. Where we can talk to you, you guys can talk to us. I know Mr. Saber, you were able to attend the open house to see some of the crew and what we're doing and everything. And I'm going to try to do a better job of any of our events like that.
Yeah.
Even
Just
if I
let
can't,
you know,
even if I
yeah.
can't be here at a meeting, just to pass that along to you,
Just
Daisy.
email them to me.
Newsletter, whatever.
Yeah,
So
please do.
please understand that everything you guys know is being very appreciated. We're looking for a long-term commitment, a long-term relationship with you guys to work together, not against each other. My plan is hopefully, if my schedule ever calms down, to go out, and I want to sit down with Mike, and come up with a, what I mean, so we're all on the same page, and interaction, and camaraderie, and everything that we can all work towards that common goal. But please let know the fire company appreciates every action, and every decision you guys have made, and looking for a good working relationship going forward.
More so we more appreciate you, and I hate using the word give as though, geez, it was such a struggle to give these, it's more than earned, and so we're grateful and appreciative, and I hope this can be a start of, more support for the fire companies.
And likewise, if we don't exist, you guys don't exist, and likewise, you know what I mean? And I don't mean as a township, I mean as a community. I mean as a community. Everyone has to get together, we're not a bigger city, it is a community action, as John and I sit here, we're paying the same taxes that everyone else is paying. So, we know that.
Right.
And I explained to Daisy and to Brad a little bit of where I'm at, with my full-time job, so I understand government, I'm on a larger scale, larger problem, larger budget. It all breaks down to the same thing, it's just where you're at, but it all breaks down to the same. So, like I said, I believe fully in, being transparent as we can, and, working towards that common goal, with you guys as the board.
Just for your budget purposes, the funds will not be available probably before July, because the CDs that they're in are come due in June, and I didn't look at what date. I think there's one in May and one in June, so the money will not be able to be distributed before July. Just so you know that, so you didn't think, oh good, we're getting this money, and, it's invested right now. So you will get it next year, I promise. So I hope that helps your budget timing.
I mean, I hate to use the term, but it is what it is. Everyone's on, until CDs come in, until tax revenue comes in.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not a January 1, money just magically appears in the
No.
coffers and you go, here guys.
Don't quite work.
Everybody thinks, oh, we're in a new budget year. Yeah, but that's the lowest revenue that comes in our township, and it's been that way. It's just the way it is. So the tax revenue starts
Starts to come
flowing
in, yeah.
again.
Oh, yep, absolutely. I deal with that every day.
Yeah. Don't buy anything new in January.
Yeah.
We're kind of refraining from buying anything right now.
Like Jim said, thanks to you guys for looking good.
If that's it for on our end, I hate to do that, but I plan on being here next Tuesday for the meeting, so I wanted to hear what you guys had to say. I wanted to present what I had to say to you guys in appreciation. I'm gonna go home and try to have one dinner this week with my wife.
There you go.
Yeah.
Watch the Phillies game. They're one.
They're gonna win.
Obviously,
I'm
we-
sure she wants to watch it.
obviously, we haven't had the discussion that I'm hockey in Pittsburgh before. But no, nothing wrong with the rivalry. So, we will be here next week, and like I said, we'll try to attend as many as we can.
Okay, great.
Once again, we appreciate everything, but.
Both ways.
We appreciate you working with us.
Right.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I like the way you work with it.
Nothing's gonna happen unless we work together.
Yep.
We're
Right.
all here
That's
for
what
the
you gotta
township.
do, you gotta work.
We're here for
with
the
it.
township in the borough, but we're all here for the township. We're township residents.
You're here for the people.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Very much.
Well put.
Gentlemen, please.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Have a good
Thanks,
night.
Kevin.
You stay?
Yeah.
All right. Yep.
Always mad at me.
Oh,
She wanted
What
to
a
come
perfect
night. I'm
place
like,
to
I'm going
be.
with Kevin. She's like, well, I wanted to go. I'm like, oh, too bad.
There's an open chair?
No, I got 2 babies at home. Somebody has
He just wants a little quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy this. It sounds sick, doesn't it?
No.
Yeah. Where we at there, Daisy?
Okay, are we finished with general fund for now? Unless something comes up, I mean, we can always go back to it.
Let me see if I have some preliminary questions, let me see. Oh, the, health insurance amount that you have, is that based on, an invoice or an amount that you got from the insurance company?
That is based on the current amount, times a 5% increase.
Okay.
And since it comes due, I always say this every time, since it comes due in June, that really covers us for almost a 10% increase. Because you're only realizing the increase for half a year.
Right, yeah, I know what
Yeah.
you're saying, okay.
And then that also is divided into what's in the solid waste, their share. It's ridiculous.
You have to do that.
Yeah, they tell me to
That's
do
what you
that,
have to
yeah.
do.
If I don't, they'll do it.
Oh, okay.
Salaries.
Same way with the payroll taxes, That's why when I do estimate in the mid-December, when all of our bills are done, I'll estimate what comes out of reserve. And then that's how we got over last year, because I was spot on. But when they made their journal entries, more money went in, and so we made a little bit of a profit, which wasn't much at all. But when I can only do what I can
What you can
see, and then
see,
when
yeah.
they do the percentages and how,
To get it finalized.
the final year end, so that's where but I do the best I can, and you can only do with what you got. I mean, we can, this is still just draft, you want me to check on the comp plan, I
Yeah.
can do that when we're done talking, just, because I can pull it right up and tell you what we have at this point.
What else do we have, Dave? Do we have?
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah, sorry.
We need to go to solid waste,
Okay.
if you're done in general, I just was waiting to see.
Yeah, for now.
Anything,
For now.
and if it comes back, fine, that's good, I know you can't always, I don't know, I'll say, hey, let's go back. Okay, so let's go to page 5, which is the solid waste.
Yeah, so we're talking about, we talked about a $2 a quarter increase.
Mhm.
And
That's
then I know you
correct.
said you had to raise it to 3, but we've got reserves of 290,000? Am I understanding?
There's, that was the fund balance,
Okay.
but you don't want to spend that down completely. The CD that we've been using to insulate the fund, as of December, will have $94,000. And that doesn't include what I have to take out this year. So with the $3 increase, I'm estimating at $44,500. If you remember, the increase in the trash, just the billing was 10%. Slightly less, but it was, and also say 10%. So that's the main thing, was the increase. And then there's an increase next year also. So you keep spending down 44,000 out of that. It's not gonna last too long.
I'm sorry, 44,000 out, how much?
The CD I'm using right now has 94, and
Okay.
that doesn't, I have to take out whatever my number is in December. I had put in 30,000, but I'm anticipating approximately 29,000. But I don't know for sure till I get there, depending on what Keystone brings in. Sometimes they've had people pay unexpectedly, some of the delinquents. So you just don't know exactly what you're going to be getting in until I get it in December. And then that's when I figure out what I have to take out, because I have to do it before year end.
Well, if we don't have the increase, it's only gonna be an additional, give or take, 10,500, somewhere in that area, dollars to take it out of the capital reserve in addition to what you've already put in there. If we do that, then we don't have to raise the rates. Food for thought.
So what was the 90 CD? So the 290 was our reserve amount.
We have a
from
policy, a
talking-
fund balance policy, that we are supposed to keep 70% of our fund balance. I know that's high, but that's what the fund balance policy is.
Where's that fund balance policy?
It's probably in one of the books in there, in one of our resolution books. And that wasn't that long ago. It's probably longer than I realized, but it wasn't like it was 10 years ago. That's something that the auditors have brought to our attention. So you want to look at.
Brought to our attention in what way?
That we should have some type of fund balance policy, that
Yeah,
you don't
that's-
spend it all down. So, and I remember, I know Ron Evans was here, I don't remember who else at the time, because Ron was here for a long time. But I know Ron was here, and I'm not sure he contributed a whole lot.
Could that have been because we used to collect the trash ourselves and we needed a higher fund balance in case the truck broke down, or we needed a new truck? We don't do that trash anymore. Why can't we revisit that policy that says we have to keep 70%?
That fund balance policy is for all funds.
Well, can you just change it? Can you make it a conditional?
What's the rationale?
Yeah, what's the
Let me
rationale?
understand the rationale behind, because the
Especially-
rationale's
yeah.
still the same today.
I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah.
And it usually says, whereas we needed this, or whereas, it'll tell you why and what the intent was to have a fund balance policy. I remember the auditors asking me about that when it came about. And that's how it came about. I didn't ask for a fund balance policy. It came about during one of our audits, and they suggested that we do have a fund balance policy, so that it's not spent, everything's spent in a fund, because I wouldn't do that to myself. You wouldn't spend all your
Right.
savings and all your reserves. So, but how we got to that 70%, I remember Craig Whitmer was here, and he said, that's a little on the high side, but that's what the board at that time wanted. The fund balances are usually, I've seen different fund balance policies, 30 to 50%, but 70 is pretty high.
Yeah, so let's continue this conversation, because this is interesting, but afterward, can you dig up that resolution or resolutions?
Yeah,
If there's
I can do
more than
that.
one, please provide them to us after. I think we need to understand that better.
Yeah, no one ever even asked about it.
Well,
So,
and that's what I'm
but
saying,
it's
that's why
something
we're
that-
asking, yeah, that's why
that
we're
we
asking now,
have.
because, yeah, if we're talking the $10,000 difference we're trying to make up by increasing the fee by $3,
But 3 times 4 is $12 a year.
Right, but doesn't it roll out to $10,000 and roughly $11,000?
Let me grab my folder, I have all of that detail, hold on a second.
Your cipher.
Mhm.
Have you guys looked at, House Resolution 1300 yet? That's coming.
3 times today, that's what I looked, no.
Well, they're trying to earmark funds that anybody that touches game lands. So if a municipality touches game lands, they're raising that tax potentially from, I think, $1 or $2 to about 10. And that'll be earmarked to local municipalities. I'm just giving you guys a heads up.
Where was it coming from?
House Resolution or House Bill 1300. It's in the House right now. It's being sent back to the Senate. I don't know if they changed it. I was just trying to look for it for 10 minutes, but
Is
it's a
that
possibility.
for payment in lieu
In lieu
of
of
taxes?
taxes.
They said at the
Yes.
convention that they were looking at raising that because it has not been raised for years.
They're looking
Is
at
that
going-
what they're talking about?
Yes.
I didn't
They're gonna be
hear.
increasing it for local municipalities, and right now, I believe it's upwards of $10 to $12 per acre of game land that you have in your municipality.
We have about 6,600 acres.
Well, I'm just, in general, that's in that bill, so. and
Right now, we get
Not that
$7,800,
I-
$7,900.
Not that I lobby for owners' rights, so not that I want it to happen, but,
Yeah.
that's,
It
I don't know if it's gonna
definitely
be
needs-
10, it could be 8, but they're looking at raising
Yeah.
it, so
Right,
it doesn't go against PR money, so they're fine.
good. I heard that, but I thought, oh, yeah, right, the game commissions, they're not gonna raise
If I
it.
remember
That
correctly,
would
if you
be
guys wanna look
great.
it up, it was in House Bill 1300.
1,300? 1400?
13.
Did you say 1,400
Thir-
I just misheard.
No.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, okay.
And I'm pretty sure it was somewhere around page, it was in between 40 and 40, I think it started at 48, but I don't remember what page it was on after 48.
John, you've gotta learn these bills.
Well, you're good.
I have it written down, actually.
Yeah, I didn't hear any news. That's good news, though. I'm glad they're active.
I know-
because
I know
thought,
I-
oh, well, that'll be put on the back burner.
I got them lobbied out of the 150 million that they were gonna take away from the PGC. That was earmarked funds for, clean streams and water, but it was an agriculture bill, it wasn't actually for clean stream. But they were still leaving in some sort of tax, raising that tax. So, cause there is one, but I don't know where it stood from there. I've been busy at work for the past 3 weeks, so I have no idea. I know it's still in the House, so it's gotta go back to the Senate, cause they're the ones that added it. And then if they say yes, then it goes to Shapiro for a signature. And this is the last budget bill that they gotta pass, so.
Yeah, let's hope that would be great. That number has been the same.
Yeah, I think it's like $2.64 an acre right now.
It is.
So, and they wanna raise it to, I think it's 10, it's either 8 or 10.
Wow.
They might drop it down to
That would be
6, I don't know.
Since we have so many.
Since
Once
we
they
have-
took once they took the 150 million out, I kind of just stopped watching it because at this point I'm like, whatever. I was trying to stop them from losing Pittman Robertson money. So now that they're not losing that, they're gonna raise that tax up. It was already proposed to raise it, so I don't know where it stands,
Okay.
but
That's great. That's great.
just if you wanna get on and read it and see what it says now, I don't know. I don't know if
I'm
they
surprised
updated it
they-
online yet.
Are dealing with it so quickly.
Yeah, quickly, it's been going on since June.
Well, I heard about it in April at the convention.
Uh-huh.
They were talking about it.
See, I didn't know about it until
That was the end of it.
second week of September. It was a backdoor deal put in by the Senate at 7:30 at night.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was raising the tax, taking 150 million, which would then take away 41 million additional dollars every year, and then earmark it back to 2019 from the PGC. So that's state stuff, but if they raise it,
Yeah.
That's
that's good for townships.
Right.
absolutely, that will help the budget, absolutely.
Yeah, that's,
Okay.
You had some information.
Oh, no.
Okay,
I'm fine.
okay.
Okay. Where were we?
Thanks, John.
Yeah.
I'm glad I stayed.
If you wanna look at them, do any copies and have, that's what you were asking me about.
Oh, okay.
The roads, but, okay, where's my? Okay, the $2 increase, I have 140 seniors and 775 regulars. And that brought it up to, if I figured this correctly, $179,800. And then we have some commercials, so that added a little bit more. And then I only figured 97% because there's delinquents, you can't count on every dollar. So that only gave me $106,804, so around $207,000. So that didn't give me enough. So then I did the 3%, and that gave
With $3, you meant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
$3, I'm sorry, $3, not 3%, $3. And I figured that would give me $212,292. So that's what I got. That's where I got, it seemed more doable with the $3.
With the 3.
Oh, well,
Yeah, this is the $2, 97%. Yeah, so you have to take off some percent for people not paying.
Right.
Unfortunately.
that's it.
And I have not had a chance to get hold of the companies regarding taking our billing. So I just put in 8,000 there. I have no idea. I'm hoping
Oh,
that will
I
cover.
found
Yeah.
something there. Rye Township uses Penn Waste. Penn Waste sends the bills. Can we get Penn Waste to do the billing for us?
I have no idea.
Can you contact them and see?
I can ask them.
You
sure.
know, it might be, now, Switera's,
But they're gonna
charges-
charge them what
Oh,
they
I-
want to charge.
I know what you're saying. Switera is $73, something like that, $75 a
Mhm.
quarter. So that may include the fee that they charge to send the bill. But I don't know, but anyway, I think it's worth looking into to see if they would do the billing.
Yeah, that's an
Just,
idea.
You know what I mean, because we're already paying somebody to do the billing, we have to have somebody do the billing. So,
Right.
and I think you mentioned at the last meeting that there were some other companies that you were looking into.
Yeah, I do have names,
Okay.
and I do wanna call them, but I just have not had a chance.
Well, if they do the billing, that would also, wouldn't that help with that issue of, like the gentleman we just had asking about getting a trash can, a smaller trash can. And to contact one entity to get the can, another one to change the billing, like if it's Penn Waste, he's gonna. if
Well,
it's to one side-
they call us to get the can, and they
Okay.
call us to change the billing. Cause they've been bringing their cans here, cause
Okay.
it's so far for them to come from York. So they leave them here, and the guys have been taking cans out.
So you have a couple extra, you have a couple extra ones.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can. And when
Did
Brown
one get
said,
run over on the road yet?
What's this?
Has one got run over on the road
I
yet?
didn't see that yet. No,
Okay.
I haven't seen that yet.
Because Penn Waste might do the billing and still charge us possibly the same fee that we're paying now, and they'll get their money faster. You know what I'm saying? People will pay on a regular basis, it's going straight to them, it's not, they're not waiting on us. I don't know how do you pay the trash quarterly to them?
no, monthly.
Monthly.
And it's ACH, it just goes
Just
automatically.
goes, okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just think it's worth looking into.
Yeah, yeah.
No, all
Yeah, 'cause we
avenues.
gotta find somebody.
All avenues,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, yes, right.
Right, I know at least what it's going to be for a quarter of the year, what we've been paying now, so, with Keystone.
Right, but yeah, because they'll handle the first quarter.
Right, they'll
But then-
handle, and they'll
but then-
handle the transition.
But then after that,
But
that's
after that, there might be some questions,
yeah,
overflow like there
Right.
was when we left Cat
Mhm.
but basically we'll be done.
get me a quick copy of the, or quickly get me a copy of the, audited financial statements, the most recent one? I just wanna look at something.
Yeah, I think that's a little that. Under the top cabinet.
Yeah, we just need to understand it.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, if there was a resolution in the past, which there was, I'm not denying that, there had to be a rationale behind it, or there should have been a rationale behind it, let's make sure we understand it, make sure it's still current. So, hey, maybe 70%'s not enough, but maybe it's too much.
No,
I've already got that one for the road, the station for us, it's out in the road.
yeah, no,
I mean,
What's that?
no,
he must have been drinking when he did it.
no, maybe.
That's right out the end of the road.
Yeah, I always record these.
Yeah.
If you ever want to see what's been said in the past,
How do you come
Right,
in one of them?
but that's all there is, but that's all it is, right?
Just take yourself.
I used to be on that table.
Oh, really?
And while I was there,
that's
I
why I'm
looked
doing
at
it.
the comp plan, it is about 18,000 by the
Because
end
what
of
they
the
do,
year. And
They
it
say
comes
and
due
what they
the
put in
end
their
of the
meeting
year.
minutes doesn't match.
So,
And then
Well, it doesn't matter, even if we,
what's done back
That's-
here
want
versus
to
what's
pull
up
that in,
here.
I can
That's-
easily
Well, that's
do
every
that.
form of government.
well, I don't think that's anything that's gonna get done in 1 year, that's,
You come here and you see this.
Well, no, but I mean, you could put,
That's, you're never gonna stop that. People are people.
if you wanna start, I don't think you'll start in
I
January
tried.
No.
either.
People make mistakes.
So,
Oh, it's no mistake.
what do you,
we might not start at all because the planning commission might kill me, but.
no, they don't wanna get into it, every time I mention, I can tell my
I don't, but I just, it's something, it's just something that needs done.
When was the last time?
I don't know. Was it early 2000s?
Yeah.
No,
Oh, I-
697.
Yeah,
Oh, it's been a while.
I know it's been a while.
It's been longer than what's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But we did, they purposely put that off, but now it's like, it's still
Yeah.
on the back burner.
I'd say add it in, Daisy, because that's just
Add it
something,
in?
it's, I know, it's just something that needs done.
Well, I'm trying to think what I just don't know, I'm trying to figure out how to budget it over 2 years.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, I
because
know.
if you
Well,
don't.
because you're gonna, we're gonna start it, we would start it in 24, but it won't get finished till 25, I'm
Right.
sure. But,
And I have no idea. You're probably looking at 18,000-20,000.
probably,
I'm
I
guessing.
mean, if it was 10 last time, it'll be 20
Yeah.
this time.
That's what I'm thinking. I have no idea.
Especially if it's been that long.
It has been.
I have a copy of it at home, I know, but I
It's
can't.
gonna be need updated with,
Still have.
you know.
It's gotta, right.
And you're
with all
gonna
the
have people here, like Frank was at meetings, you know, he did different modules.
Mhm.
And then he would come to meetings, and then he
Yeah,
came to the township,
Well, no, to your
different
point,
things.
yeah.
then the subsequent year has to be 70%.
No.
Remaining of the-
I mean, because my thing is, we already have one,
Because that's
so
what
we just need to make sure that ours is
What-
up to
what
date.
if I
and
would
They
we're-
don't call it fund balance.
$10,000, half of it.
Mhm.
And then when that comes due, put the other 10,000
Back
for
in-
another
You
year.
could, yeah, to use that for the, for
Yeah.
next, for
For the
year after
next
next, yeah.
You think
Yeah,
that would be a
probably-
way to?
That would probably be okay, I
Just
would
make
think.
sure I have.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, and whoever we would contract with, they would have to understand.
right.
This is what we have to work with this
For
year.
now,
What
right.
can we do for now with what we have
God, right,
available?
how, get us started down a path so we're going, and then
Mhm.
whatever we gotta finish the
And
next
then,
year.
well, we did that when we codified ordinances. This
Right.
is how much we can do this year, because this
Mhm.
is the funds
That are available, right.
Right.
Can we go back to the, proprietary fund again, solid waste?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if in fact that's the policy, that we have to keep 70% of the balance,
Mhm.
okay? So 70% would be $207,510. So if we do not increase the trash, okay, that means we have to use approximately 50,000 of that, okay? And that would still keep us within the requirement of 70% by about $40,000, give or take.
Okay, now you're looking at 22, so 23 is going to be in there, so I'll be taking out of that. I don't know what the fund is doing this year right now.
And is it 70% of the remainder then of subsequent years? Then it's not, you follow, it's,
Because if the
there's
fund
gonna be
balance,
a
yeah,
remainder
It
after
cha-
we take out.
Yes, it's the
And then it's gonna be,
remainder.
then the following year, you have to leave 70% of
Of
that.
what's
So you should be
remaining.
bringing it
Yes,
down.
yeah.
so we could
So
still
we'd be
bring it down,
satisfying then.
yeah, so we would still satisfy that, even if you took some out, if you have to take some out for this year.
I definitely, well, just right now, it looks like 29,000. So 29,000 and then, even 29 and just say 45 is $78,000 in 2 years. If indeed that's what it is. I mean, I don't know. I don't know until December exactly what that will be. I thought it would be more last year and I was really glad to see it. I only had to take out a little over $2,000.
Okay, well, it's up to supervisor if you want to raise the rates or not. I'm just giving you the numbers.
And you have to remember too, we're in a 2-year contract and the rates are going up again next year. So you're gonna look at
But
the
then we
number.
could raise it
But
at that
we
point.
could raise it then, though.
Yeah, I think it's just a hard sell right now when we're sitting on reserves to raise it now. When, hey, to your point, if it does go up in the following year, okay, then I think that's a sound argument.
Well, according to the contract, it's going up 8%.
No, it's not quite that.
And really, as a proprietary fund, it should be used like a business, and everything profit and loss. So I think the residents need to understand too that, hey, this is how much it's really costing us. So, if we used up all the money, let's say there's no reserves.
Right.
We would have to increase it. at
Quite a
that
bit.
point. So why
Quite a
not just
bit.
use it now? I mean, just use it now.
But are you delaying, I mean, I guess what I'm thinking is, in my thought was, I'd rather have an increase of $2 here than $20. Well, look what Marysville just did, doubled their rates.
And I get that.
You know what I'm
I get
saying,
that, yeah,
over
but-
time.
but, yeah, I get that, but at some point, this money is gonna be gone.
It will be,
Okay.
absolutely, it will
So-
be.
I don't know why we just don't use it now.
Yeah, and,
That's me.
yeah, and I wanna be clear on that, that's her opinion, she's not a supervisor, she's here as an advisor, to be clear on that. And, but no, I have that same thought, and actually, I had approached her about it, because again, we've got the reserves, and simplified way of thinking, but we've got the reserves, does that not mean that we've collected a little bit more than was necessary up to this point? So therefore, we can draw down some of that,
And give it back to the
And
people
give it back.
that paid it out.
yes.
But it
They
is,
already
I mean,
paid, yeah.
even with the increase, we are drawing down the reserves.
Mhm.
I don't want you to think I wasn't taking
Oh,
any.
right, no, I
And it's
understood,
a
yeah.
substantial amount.
Oh, yeah.
But and I'm sorry, were we taking 45,000, 44 something?
44,
Quick call,
5,
45.
Yeah.
45, it's called.
So we would take another 10 or 11.
11,000,
Right, to-
approximately
So
$11,000.
56,000.
Yeah,
And that's, right, isn't that?
yeah, 45 and 11, 56,
Okay.
yeah.
You could do that, I'm just saying, it's going to eventually be all,
Oh,
and then when it's
yeah,
all,
well.
there's going to, and there again, I'm kind of the same, this is my thinking, and I'm not a supervisor, but my thinking is I want to see, like even with the tax increase, I don't want, $300 tax increase, not just gonna be that, I don't want a large tax increase.
Right.
Give it to me slowly so my budget I can, figure it. And
So it can grow.
Right.
Yeah.
so that it's not, so it can go with the raises you're getting,
Right.
the people are getting.
Or more, or The rates, when everything keeps getting higher and higher expense wise or whatever,
Right,
yeah.
and I don't wanna see anything go up, but that's not reality. So it really is 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Well,
It's a budgeting strategy,
Mhm.
how you want to do it. You know, how do you want to handle it? A $2 increase, $3, or no, none, you know, it's,
I think it's clear my position is no. And I'll make that motion, if we need a motion that we don't raise the trash at this time. If we need to do it next year, let's do it, but let's take another 11,000 from the reserves and.
we'll have to rework it and see
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
it comes out
Was that-
to be.
That's up to you guys, I'm with her on that.
Okay, Sean?
I would just as soon hold the line this year, like, with Jim, I mean, that almost certainly guarantees that we're gonna have to raise it next year, but.
I believe so.
But that's-
What is it
But
gonna be
we've
next
done,
year?
we've done what we.
No.
Yeah.
How much is it gonna be?
Yeah.
Is it gonna be $6? Is it gonna be what?
Well, no, why would it be?
Well,
more? Why would-
just say $2 is
No.
$8 a year.
Right,
Is it gonna be more next year?
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
no one knows, well,
Nobody knows.
no one knows what the future,
No,
well,
you don't, and you don't know how your funds
Well,
will
you-
be collected.
you do know what the collection rate is, because,
Right,
the
you do
because
know
the
that.
contract's gonna go up by however many percent,
Yeah.
that's what you know.
Yeah, the increase is gonna be what it's gonna be,
Right.
regardless of
So-
how we fund it, whether we take this extra.
And then in
11,000 or not.
2025, you're going
It's
to
gonna
be
be,
getting
once
another.
again, it's gonna be the wild,
Yeah.
wild west, and, yeah,
It's-
whoever, yeah.
I
that's-
don't foresee it going down.
No, nothing is,
Just do
nothing
not.
is gonna go
I
down.
mean, Marysville is, that's really the norm, even though I don't want to think it is, but to
Mhm.
double trash, I've heard that from
Yeah.
different people. It's a shame, but no, I don't want to see our trash double, but, I mean, the payment, absolutely
Yeah.
not. But you also have to still keep reserves. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
will- I will check that.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to spend every.
Well, no, you don't wanna do that.
You know, you just don't know, like even if we get rid of someone that does the billing,
Mm-hmm,
you know,
well, yeah,
Okay. We're good with-
yeah, I,
I'll
wanna
send
rework
you.
that?
yeah,
copies,
yeah,
Ron.
rework that.
Okay. I think I have anything else, and I'm going to add, while you guys were talking, I don't know if you heard what Sean and I were saying about the comp plan. There is a CD, I looked real quick while I was out there, pulled it up, and it'll be about 18,000 by the end of this year, but it was a 15-month CD, so it runs into the end of April.
Okay,
So, what we're going to do is, it'll be, 18,000 some odd dollars. So we'll take out 10,000. The rates are pretty good right now, and they're supposed to be for the next couple of years.
mhm,
So we take that and budget that into as a transfer from the capital
Right.
reserve, and leave the other remainder in
Mhm.
there, and just whoever you go out, I mean, we don't have to bid out professional services, but we did.
yeah, right.
We did
Well, for
get,
this, yeah,
you
you
know,
probably ought to,
and you would just stipulate in there, this is
Mhm.
what we can do this year.
right, 2024 is gonna be
And you
this
might
much.
not get it started till May,
No.
I don't know.
Well, I can't imagine you get it started any sooner than that. I don't think you get it done during the winter, I don't think you'd probably start on it.
No.
I mean, that would be probably something in the spring, probably be the earliest, I would think.
And that's something that, you will be having your monthly meetings, because
Mhm.
this year you haven't had,
Right,
it may be a good time as far as being a lull in
Mhm.
development here,
so maybe we can get it knocked out, maybe that.
yeah. Okay, but anyway, I will make that change to the general and put that in
And-
that.
And on top of that, Daisy, so if we do that, and we take the 10,000 out, we have 8, what would be the possibilities of, would it be possible to take whatever the difference would be out of the general fund or whatever, to put $10,000 in the new CD, you know what I mean? Instead of just dumping the 8, add whatever to it to make it an even $10,000 and put that in for the next go
For the
around.
comp plan?
Yeah, for the comp plan. I mean, I realize we'd have to take money out of the general fund to stick in there, but,
I don't know where it would come out.
okay, but,
It's probably gonna be close to that.
Yeah.
I mean,
if it is.
it will be by the time you
By the time
use
that-
it in
yeah.
2025.
Well, yeah, that would be,
Yeah,
yeah,
With the interest,
With the
is what I'm
interest.
thinking.
yeah, maybe that's okay.
Because I can get, a Bank of Landsberg has well, that's not a year. Marysville has 5% for
Okay.
1 year.
Yeah,
It was 5.15%. The only thing with Marysville is they only pay interest. They compound it monthly or so, I'm not sure what their compounding is, but they don't pay it out, it's biannually. So every 6 months you get interest. It's kind of nice,
Yeah.
they don't have to post as much, but
yeah,
I
but,
mean, that, you still get the same amount.
Right,
It probably is to their advantage, but
For
I'm
some-
sure
for some
by
reason,
doing it
yeah.
that way. But even if you
Okay.
end up with 5%.
that's okay,
5%
that'd be enough, that'd be enough to make it up, yeah.
I would think,
Okay.
5% on $10,500.
All right, yeah, we'll be okay then.
I think you'll be okay, and if you need a little more
Yeah, we
in
can.
2025.
Well, we can budget, take a little bit from somewhere to put towards it.
Right,
Okay. Well, and by then we'll know probably what it's actually gonna
right.
be
What
till
the
we get,
total
what we're
cost.
gonna get,
And maybe you could lock them in too, you know, maybe
if they
that
would-
might be good.
if they would go for it. I mean, no guarantees of that, but yeah, that'd be okay,
I can't remember how long it took before. Wasn't it like 2 years?
I think.
'Cause you
I didn't have
had
anything,
meetings-
when I did, that was I didn't have anything in it way back then, so. I have a copy of it, that's all I know.
I remember Tom Groffensberger did a lot.
No, I'm sure he did, probably, I would guess,
And
yes.
Dan and Gordon.
And I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah. I just remember having meetings here, talking about,
For quite a while, I'm sure, so.
yeah, it was, land use and all that. Okay. Okay, well, I will make that change to the general fund, with the comp plan. And changes to, is there anything else with the liquid fuels? You think that looks okay for now? And obviously, that's what's proposed as far as the work, but that's always dependent upon.
That's debatable.
Yeah, you don't know what the cost of paving is going to be.
And actually having contractors come out and look at all that too, that's gonna change a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that, this here on land, I told Brad, I said, I don't think we could do all that. What he did was try to do, I didn't quite understand it, but that's okay, but they were doing patching on
Mhm.
base repair,
Yeah,
on Lamb's Gap. And instead of doing like base repair on an overlay, they were just doing base repair. And it didn't seem like the estimate was very good. You know, it's almost like a patching,
Right.
a crisscross patch here, patch there. And it's usually along the edge of the road because through the years
that's
they
where,
pave,
that's where it
they
always
pave
is.
over and there's no base.
That's where it
Oh,
always
it
is.
looked like your road's wider, yeah, but there's no base on it
It's 190,000 for all of them.
for
so.
all of it, so yeah.
So somebody's
I
somebody's
kinda-
gonna come up short somewhere,
Yeah,
probably.
I told Brad, you can't do all that on Lambs.
But-
Like I said, I don't think that's a good estimate, but that's me.
Yeah.
At the bottom of the liquid fuels worksheet, Dayton, the 5 rows, do we have the individual estimates for each of these? You've got them there.
Yeah, that's.
Stacy brought them out for me.
Oh,
Okay.
I was wondering what you were ciphering. Okay.
Yeah, when I went and grabbed the other side, I had all that stuff out today, so I knew where it was.
Okay. Can you update this sheet and send us a new copy, just with these numbers?
Oh,
That way, we've got the,
That way I don't have to rely on my chicken scratch one.
yeah,
okay.
yeah, if you don't, thanks.
you don't want that in the budget itself, do you? The estimate?
Nah, that, I don't,
Because that
I don't
doesn't
think
mean we're
it's-
gonna.
yeah,
do
that,
it.
yeah.
Especially on lambs, I cut that in half. I asked Brad, I said, what do I do? That's too much. And he said, just cut it in half, or just do a section instead of trying to pick the worst section
Yeah,
and, do the base
Like
repair.
I said, we get a contractor out, it's probably be different.
Right.
well, yeah, definitely.
You might have to say, sorry, we can't
Or
do.
you might say, well, that's not as good as the other.
Well, that's like this year, we're pleasantly surprised, I thought that was, I just was really pleased.
Well, where'd the savings come from?
I guess they didn't use as
Or
much,
they didn't use as much asphalt?
or as much base
Or as
repair.
much
I don't
base
know, you
Probably
were
was
out
in the
there.
base repair.
Yeah,
Probably
okay.
was in the base repair.
Yeah. Well, that's
Base
true, 'cause-
repair is really expensive.
oh, yeah. Well, I know PennDOT just did a bunch on Route 34 going into Carlisle. So.
Yeah, and then the overlay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got stuck in that the other night.
I've been stuck in it
I
3
took
nights.
Winnie home from the history.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah, you got stuck in it.
I got stuck in it, yeah. So, I will do that, and I will forward you a new worksheet and, the other stuff you requested. I really don't have anything else.
And you got that resolution,
The fund
request?
Yeah,
balance.
fund
I will,
Please,
I'll
yeah.
have to find that, I'm not even
Yeah, it's
sure what year
interesting.
that was, but I know that we have one. Because it might be the audit, the auditors note that. At least they did, I don't know if it's in this one, they used to note that fund balance policy.
Oh,
Like
so
this
I
a
have
million
one, so I
times,
have
I've
one
never
for you.
seen it in here,
Oh,
so.
so I have one for
It
you.
might, but it
Yeah.
might not be in that one, I know it was noted. Anyway. Anything else for the good? Okay. For the good of the cause?
Was that the last of it, Dave, for the evening?
That's all I have, that's it, yep.
Motion to adjourn?
Is that- I'll make the motion.
Motion? Second, all in favor? Aye.
What time do you have?
7:47.
AT&T says it's 7:47.
7:47, that's good
If you can,
enough for me.
if you can believe them.
Okay. All right. We want this on the agenda then. If I get everything straightened out and it's satisfactory, put it on the agenda. Because if we're gonna continue, I should have asked them. But it's just
Yeah, third meeting,
to keep moving
when
things
do we
along.
have the third meeting set aside?
November 2nd, if needed. If not, it's gonna push our final adoption is to be at the December meeting, and in order to get the 20 days for public review, I have to know what we're doing, what the time schedule is.
By November 2nd. And you did say November 2nd. wasn't it?
Yeah, that,
November 2nd is the date
Yeah.
if we need the third meeting. So you'll have to let me know if you think you need that. You don't have to let me know tonight.
I think we do, I mean, it appears to me that we do, and it can be a very short one.
yeah, that one doesn't have to be very long, I wouldn't think. Just to,
Yeah, let's do that.
yeah.
Okay, so then you,
Let me just make sure.
Well, because then, well, when's the November supervisor?
November 14th.
Is the 14th.
Yeah.
So then if we authorize for your advertisement and everything,
Mhm.
so when does the 20 days start? Have to start?
The 9th to the 12th. So it would have to go in the paper the 9th
Of
November.
November.
So if I can get it to the newspaper by November 3rd at 12 noon, we
Yeah.
have a new deadline now. It used to be till like 4, now, then it was 3, now it's
That's
12
good.
noon on
Okay.
Fridays. So, if I get it to the newspaper by then, and if I need to, I can put it in, Patriot News also, to make sure I have the 20 days.
Oh, that's true for the, yeah. Yeah, because you're just trying to get it in the county paper. Just trying to get in that.
Right, I'm just trying, Duncan record, it will
Yeah.
definitely be in there,
Yeah.
because I think more people see
See
that.
that.
But, I can put it in there. So we should be okay.
Okay.
I just will need to know for sure that night, so the next morning I'll have
You
my
can-
ad all ready
You
to
can
go
go,
and
say you
just-
can send it.
Right, right,
We can, well, we can do that.
okay.
All
All right.
right,
I just thought I'd better ask about the time schedule there, so make sure we get everything ready. Good to go.
Page 53,
one second, let me get my.
section 24. It was
Yeah,
120, and it will be $2.40 per acre to benefit each county. And then it will be 40 cents should it go to Commonwealth agency that owns property. And then if you jump to 54, $2.40 per acre will benefit the township where your property is located. So it's an increase of $1.20.
Good.
And you said, is that still in the works or that's passed?
That's still in the house.
Still in the house? Okay.
It was in the House, went to the Senate, they amended it, back to the House. now
That
it's going
sounds
back to the Senate.
right.
So it's looking at about $1.20.
Yeah, because if we
Increase.
have like
What do you get now?
6,600 acres, we're getting 7,800.
Yeah, that's right.
So 6,600, you're looking
So-
at what, extra
We're looking at
15,000?
doubling.
Yeah, it'll double what we get now, so, yeah.
66,240.
Yeah, that's a little high, but just say 66,000.
Right, 6,600 acres.
6,600, what am I
All
saying?
right.
Yeah, 66.
6,600, you're looking at 15,840.
Yeah.
So
So, yeah, 15,000.
from
Sounds good.
I think we get one.
7,920, that's what you get now.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah. yeah,
Yeah.
every little bit helps.
Yeah.
and then they're giving money to the schools and everything else.
Wow.
They're raising it 10 cents, but you guys get $1. Or we get it.
Yeah.
Citizens, how's that?
Yeah.
Right.
Look at it that way.
Take it from one pocket, put it in
Put it
the
in
other.
there.
Yeah.
Just
I
take it
paid
from
for that for my hunting license. and
Yeah,
then-
right.
Is that where all that revenue?
So the PGC gets it from, most of their funding comes from license sales.
Okay.
And then they do get money from natural gas reserves. So it's not as much money as people think. What's that?
Significant portion or it sounds like?
It didn't get significant until last year,
Okay.
but that's because of the Biden administration and shutting down all the gas lines and stuff like that. It jacked natural gas way up. So if you were getting $500,000 a month, you might now be getting 1.2 million a month.
Whoa.
So it almost doubled, if not more. So, I mean, they're getting a good chunk of money off of that, but, and that's why they were trying to take the 150 million from them. But who knows what happens in the end of next year,
Mhm.
that could plummet and they could be back at.
Back to where
They
they
could be
were.
back to where they were at. And all of that
Yep.
depends on how much per barrel. how much
Yep.
per gallon. So,
Mhm.
we'll see.
Mhm. We have to go home to your kids now. And
Yeah.
your wife.
Well, technically,
Let's see what time it is.
Are they in
If
bed?
I make it
Drive
37
Drive.
minutes. I got another meeting at 8:30.
Oh, my goodness.
Appreciate you coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Very good.
Yeah.
Hey. Thanks, Daisy.
Ben wanted me to say something about this trash can.
Oh, yeah.
He took his back in.
No, you're like a
So
90.
if he didn't get the township trash can.
You went
it.
Thanks for fighting.
Oh, yeah, I think she meant the CD, but I knew there was 297. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I tried to bring it up. If there are extras, take one. He's not gonna bring it back up. I'll make sure.
We don't hate all your suggestions.
Okay.
I told him, I was like, this isn't the right meeting to do that,
I
Ben.
should say hate, I should say disagree.